What's up, guys? I've been asked by a few of my followers to do an OBS tutorial. Basically, just to like set up the scenes and layers, running through real quick. I'll show you some things you haven't seen on YouTube. I had to find out the hard way. There are a few out there, but none of them are really step by step. They don't really get into it too much. So I'm gonna get right into it. I got a monitor set up right here. First thing we want to do is go to the help section for Twitch. Put a lot of time into the broadcasting section to help out gamers. They have XSplit, OBS, Overwolf, and a few other options. We're going to go to OBS right here. They have a section chapter. You can click on any one of these and it'll take you right to the section if you're having issues. Or if you want to read into these sections more, you can click right on one of these and it'll take you straight there. If you haven't downloaded OBS yet, here's the website. It's one option to download. Super easy. It's not too big of a download. They do update often, so you can stay current, and they fix glitches pretty well too. So very few. Started. Go to settings. Pop this entity. Choose a language. English is default. The rest of these are pretty well default as well. Move on down to encoding. View Overwolf. Go down to encoding. Just save changes. That's another thing too. If you change anything, it'll say settings won't be applied until the next time you begin streaming. If you click another section, a pop-up window will ask you if you want to apply settings. It's pretty fail-safe. If you change anything or if there's any mistakes or anything, you can save it or go back to it and change it. It's a pretty smart setup. We're back at coding here. It's literally numbered 1 through 4. They go straight down the list. It's pretty well straightforward. If you want to read into these, they have plenty of description. I'm just literally copying pictures here. We'll get into scenes and layers pretty quick. Step 1, use CBR, check. Enable padding, check. 3300 or 80% of your upload throughput is recommended. 3300 is pretty high upload. Twitch is based on upload, GPU, and memory for the most part. I'm running 35 down, 5 up, and around 40 ping. So 2500 is the magic number for me. You can run 3300 and work your way down. It helps if you have a friend or a follower watch your stream and let you know if it's laggy or choppy or anything like that. And you can start at 3300 and work your way down by, you can go 3000, 2800, 2600, however you want to do it. But just make sure you have these numbers matching. You always want to keep these the same. I said I'm 5 upload and 2500 was the magic number for me. AAC bit rates recommended. 44.1 format, 128-bit stereo. All this is pretty much default. These are the only two things that really need to be changed here. And this is a pretty major difference between choppy streams and good streams. You really gotta play with that to get your settings correct. If you just run default 3300 and start streaming, it's probably going to be choppy unless you got really good upload. So I'll run through these again to let you know what changes are dependent on either person. Roll on down to broadcast. This section will be different for everyone. Step 1, click live stream, twitch.justintv. Closest geographical server will be different for everyone. They'll pull, I forget what it is. I think it's I don't remember. I'm on the East Coast, so Virginia is closest to me. Virginia and New York, I'll bounce between. Seems like Virginia always has a lower ping, so I'll go that route. If you're on Elgato or anything, you can do a search through their server, and they give you ping amounts that's pretty much live. Virginia is always lower. Next is the stream key. You have the website. It's a clickable link right here. They made it really easy. This is your Twitch dashboard for your personal. This is your personal dashboard right here. This is really handy, by the way. Anytime I stream, I always pop this up on the side. You change your title really quick right here. Check your viewer count, your followers. You can see your stream. Make sure everything's right. Make sure you're not on the wrong screen. I'm a real bad habit for that. Make sure you mute that because you will get a double echo. Another quick tip is to you can do a pop-out window and do a half screen so you can see the chat a lot bigger. Also handy. But when you get to your click the link, you get to your Twitch dashboard. You want to click stream key. You click this button right here, and this will slide to the left, and your stream key will be right here. I'm not going to show it because they're all individual. If someone has your stream key, they can stream your channel. So make sure no one else has it. It's your personal. All you have to do is hold down left click, copy, and paste right here. That's it's pretty simple. Just make sure that's a very important key you want to keep to yourself. Back to the auto connect. Timeout 10-second. 0 delay. Literally just bounce back and forth. More info here for quick setups for VOD and all that. Move on down to video. Yes, save change. It says here, first-person shooter is recommended to be 30 frames per second. 720 at 60 frames per second for some games will look better than low bitrate 1080p at 30 frames. So 720p at 60 frames will look better than 1080p at 30 frames unless you've got a pretty serious gaming setup. I run 720 at 30 frames and I've got a pretty clean stream. I wouldn't say it's top of the line, but it's not too laggy or hateful. I usually run medium settings. I'm running on a pre-built right now, but it's a whole nother story. 720 at 30 frames. If you're pretty confident about your computer, 720 at 60 will look really good. I wouldn't run 1080p. Your video adapter pops up here. It's automatically linked. Running a 632 gig currently now. That's pretty well default. It'll pop up. There's nothing. I mean, you can select separate drivers if you have two or different setup or whatever you got going on. 1920 by 1080, that's all default. I wouldn't leave that alone. And you'll notice that some of this is different because this is updated. I've been streaming since last November, and these are default settings from an old version, so some of this might be different. I pretty much leave these default, any updates, because they're pretty much needed. You can change if you choose, but I leave them default. Here's number two. Here's the number two difference in each other's streams. This makes a pretty big difference too. You want to set it to 1280 by 720, downscale, bilinear, fastest filter. There are a few other options, but fastest is always best. 30 frames per second. Like I said, I do 30. Excuse me. If you're confident in your PC, 60 frames is recommended. I wouldn't push 1080p. But I mean, unless you got like a pretty badass rig, I guess. A disable arrow, it's not needed. I'm scrolling down. Audio. We'll pop into this real quick. I got mine quick set. I work third shift, so when everyone's asleep, I'll swap from disabled computer to my Astros. All you have to do is right click and you can set default. That'll pop up your audio. You can do a sound check to make sure that you're on the right settings. For every setting you have, every screen option or audio setting, it will pop up. Like I said, I usually switch between my default PC screen and my Astros. Just make sure you have the right settings. I'm on default USB for mine, default C media USB, so that's my PC there. Make sure you got your audio device selected. Check your microphone. I've got a few options here. I can switch between Astro, my Blue Snowball, and the original PC setup, so I always run with my Snowball. You can use your Astro mic, which works really well as long as it's on your head, obviously, but just make sure you choose there. The rest of this is pretty well default. None 200, none 1. Here's another thing that will be different per person, per upload setup. This mic off sync is for matching your camera and your audio. I set mine. You can start at 100 and work your way up or down until it matches. Like I said, I'm 35 down, 5 up, so 90 milliseconds was dead on for me. That's another thing that will change per person and makes a big difference. Any kind of lag, chop, or echo can drive your viewers crazy. So you got a good stream set up and it's on point. You can definitely gain followers for sure just by having a clean setup. Move down to advanced. Yes, apply. All this is pretty well default. When you download OBS, the keyframe will be 0 automatic, which recommends 2 for their offset. That's the only thing that changed. CFR was already checked. All this is all set. Default 20 latency is all default. Move down to microphone. This is another thing. This is completely optional, and this is like minimal detail if you're like super into your audio and you're trying to get rid of a ghost sound or any kind of thing like that. I left all of this default. I didn't change anything. 25, 200, 150, it's all the same. But you can change your open and close threshold. Like you said, if you got automatic noise gate or a mute option or anything like that on your microphone, you can do, minuscule detail right here. But the main thing that you'll be focused on for microphone is your offset to match your camera. That's a pretty big thing there. But max bit rate, your bit rate speed, your video selection, and your frames per second, and your mic sync are going to be the 3 things that is going to change per person indefinitely. You want to play with these, and these are the 3 things that you're going to need to change and move around to get your stream on point. Scenes and sources, they go step by step for all scenes and sources. You have pictures for each. I'm more of a hands-on person. I'd rather show you than read to you. I can't learn that way. But that's pretty much it for this help section. So we'll go ahead and close all this out. I have the sample set up here. I can run through this. I can run through this again real quick too, just to get you started from ground zero. You need to look at scenes and sources, like scenes and layers. As you can see here, I've got mine layered. I've got my camera, banner, my Elgato setup, and my Pandora playlist. It's a free setup right now. OBS and Pandora are free. These are all screen captures. I'll go into that real quick too. Back to the sample. First thing you want to do is most people run 4 scenes. Got their camera, their Elgato or Favor Media or whatever you have to capture games. PC setup for streaming video games, and a slideshow for starting and ending a stream. That's usually the 4. I usually run 4. I just sent this sample up to show you guys what's going on. Yeah, you can name these anything you like. You can add scene, and it'll give you option to change it to whatever you want. I'll go over that too. That'll turn the screen black, but it's basically a fresh start from 0. You get a straight black screen. You can add this. You can name it Cam, Elgato, PC, whatever you want. Scene 1, intro, whatever you'd like. And from that section, you start adding layers. We'll do the window capture. I've already got, this is the window capture here. you want to do the window capture for PCs, you know, checking out your follower list or anything like that, anything you want to show like YouTube clips or anything you want to set up, window capture. It'll bring up all windows available. I've got Twitch, Pandora, a couple of streamers up, movie selections. So we'll go to desktop. You want to always choose inner window, because if you choose the entire window, you'll get the outline borders and everything in. So I always choose inner window for that. Capture mouse cursor is optional. For things like my Pandora screen sections that always stay up and I'm scrolling across, I always want to unclick those. But for the tutorial, I'll leave the capture up so you can follow my mouse and see where I'm at. Opacity, you can change the opacity of it, so whether, you know, it's kind of see-through, kind of not. Subregions, we'll get into that in a second. Color key, we'll get into that too. This is opacity right here. I've got my AG background behind my St. Jude Play Live here. I'm doing a little charity thing, but you know, that's my thing. You can do however you like. We can jump into that quick too. Another problem, well, the only problem I have is OBS is with scene selections. If you change scenes, sometimes the mic, well, it might be my blue setup, but the mic sometimes goes full bar static. So you have to mute the mic and reset the stream. That's my only problem, but I mean, it's completely free software, and you know, there's bound to be one or two minute bugs. So other than that, I love OBS. Got two samples up. I'll close one. You can unclick it, or you can close it completely. You can move it. I will. Next thing we'll go into is monitor capture. I have 3 monitors set up. You can choose monitor 1, monitor 2, or monitor 3. If you only have one monitor, then there's, you know, obviously one choice there. You can open up a whole bunch of images. Got my overlay, a couple of background settings. I've got a lot of pictures in here for my slideshow. My YouTube pick for my channel. All this stuff's available. I'll go ahead and throw my overlay up here. It's pretty well default unless you want to get into some details like maybe ghosting a little bit with opacity. Completely up to you. That'll pop up on top there. Layers are very important. If you're adding layers and like say you're losing, I can show you real quick here. You don't have your layers properly. I have my Pandora set right here above my overlay. If you change the order, you can move up, down, top, or bottom. If you change move to bottom, it's completely gone. Pandora is now on the bottom of this layer list, and it's underneath everything. So if you're having a problem losing, if you got a blank screen and your camera's not showing, just make sure that you have it layered properly before you throw your keyboard. I usually have my camera and my overlay and Pandora on top. It's pretty easy setup the way they have it. Not too bad at all. And, on to the next scene. You can do slideshows. You can add the time between images. You can fade them out. You can randomize them. You can add to the list. You can literally select all the pictures that you would like. Click randomize, and it'll jump between each one of these in a different pattern. It'll never be the same, and you can change the time between each frame. I'm not going to do that. That's a lot of pictures, but all you do is click the picture and add image, and it'll start rolling for you. Global source is for input devices like your Elgato or AverMedia or your streaming device. This right here is my Twitch Notify. That's also a global source you can connect to your page, or whatever else follower program you might have. You can add all kinds of text, change the font. I like the Universal Roman. I usually run 60, bold, italic. Change the double click, change the color, anything you like. You can run through the scale here too. I usually just run a couple defaults. You can also customize. You can add that to the wheel. If you like certain colors, you can add them. Font size, lettering. You can make it ghosted a little bit. Text is in and pops up here. Now to move that around, you want to click Edit Scene, and you'll get a little red box around it. You can change the size and shape and everything. What nobody told me, and I could not find in any YouTube video, is how to alter out of this 4x3 or 16x9 box. What you want to do is hold down Control and Shift at the same time, and click one corner, and you now have full control of how the shape is on that. I could not find that on any YouTube video. I couldn't find it on pretty much anywhere. You can add it to it pretty well pops into a corner too. I try not to go outside this box because that can cause overlay problems, and this will turn black if it can't load properly. So try not to go outside this box, however you set it. Just make sure you're holding down Control and Shift, and you can move it anywhere you like. I'll stack this up right here. Just yeah, it's fine, whatever. And when you're done editing scene, you just close that. It's toggle on, toggle off. So if you click one here, if you click the overlay, you'll get the box on the overlay. If you click text, you'll get the box on the text. It's toggle on, toggle off. We'll move on to we did text, video capture. You can do throw the cam in. All your devices will pop up with video. I got Elgato and my webcam. Here's another important thing too. Make sure you have all the audio disabled except for your microphone. You will get crazy audio. You get crazy audio echo. When I first started streaming, I had my Elgato audio on, my microphone audio on, and my Elgato mic was on. So I mean, it was like quadruple audio. It's make sure you have that disabled. I always close this. You got a level here, you can check it. I always shut that all the way down to make sure that it's completely off. Disable, shut all that down. You can flip the camera and do vertical. You can ghost it. I usually ghost mine for PC. The rest of this is pretty well preset. 1080 at 30 frames. Click OK, and there's a really big image. Toggle edit. Scroll on. If you don't hold down Control Shift, it's a 4x3 box. That's all you got to work with. You can't move it anywhere else. Hold down Control Shift, and you can get really fat or really skinny. I'm not going to go too big with the camera. Said as long as edit's on, it's toggle on off. You can you check your text. You can click here to click on what you want, or you can click down here on the text to what you want to work on. I'm going to put my camera underneath my overlay and toggle off. I could add my Elgato, but then the screen gets full, so I just want to keep it simple. But you can add this. I think I have 9 layers on my my PC gaming, so you can go crazy with the layers. It might take a second to load up, but you can add as many as you like. For PC gaming, I'll do game capture. Now, as soon as you click that, it'll open all windows, and you can scroll down here. And if you have Steam up, like if you have CS:GO or DayZ, it will automatically pop up in here. Say this is DayZ. All you have to do is click it, and it'll automatically link that page. You can opt to run cursor mouse if you like. I find that kind of annoying on PC games, so I'd shut mine off. The rest of this is pretty well preset. Hit OK. And now game capture is on. If you don't have a game up, it's clear, so it's kind of hard to tell where it's at. But this, screw you. Whatever. Pick the worst time. Damn you, AVG. This is your game capture here. If you had Daisy up, it would be inside this box. I never put it over top of my overlay, because if you put it up here and over your camera, then the viewers are losing this part of the screen and the camera. So what I'll do is I'll edge around it. Hold down Control Shift. Just touch up right above your banner. That way they get full screen and they're not losing any of the picture. And right now my camera's buried. You wouldn't be able to see me because Daisy would be completely over this screen right here. So I always want to make sure you got layers correct. Good. Global sources, images, text. We've already went over all that. If you need to add one, if they can't, if your OBS isn't detecting your webcam or your Elgato or AverMedia or whatever you got, you can click global source, add, and go to video capture for Elgato and enter the name, and you can add it manually. You have start streaming. This will take you straight to Twitch. You can start record. I'm making a YouTube video, so you hit start, stop, record here. You can also preview the stream before you start streaming or recording. I always use this setting, preview stream, when I'm editing or changing any of this around. Plugins are all default. I haven't even messed with that at all, so that's pretty well set on your scenes and sources. Twitch did an awesome job with this layout section here. It's all layered here. If you lose a section, you can scroll. You click the button, it'll drag you right to global sources or wherever you need to go. That's about it. I can't think of anything else. Oh, window capture. That's what I was going to go over. Window capture. We'll do Pandora. Any screen you have open, it will read all screens. I've got a few Twitch screens open. I got Pandora, the OBS. Got all these open right now, but we'll make sure we're on Pandora. I always stay on inner screen unless you want these boxes shown. I don't. For my radio playlist, I never show cursor opacity. I don't need that. Now for doing select window screens, like if you want to capture one specific thing, you want to go to sub-region and select region. Just a second. I have to bring Dora over here for you to see the whole thing here. All right, for my main camera, I'll capture this whole section here so they know what the CD cover is, what the song is, and all that. So what you want to do is click sub-region, select region. The whole screen turns white. If you press enter or rectangle, or if you press enter or click outside the box, it'll capture whatever is inside this box. It's just super handy, really easy. I'm going to intentionally mess this up. I'm going to run outside this box here so you know exactly what's going on here. This outside corner is where it will end. I'll try and capture CD cover, the name of the song, the band, and everything. I intentionally messed this up, and I'm going to show you how to fix it if your outside lines or anything is wrong. As soon as you click outside the box or hit enter, the box disappears, and this is the section of the window that's now captured. Click OK, and here it is. I intentionally got into that corner to show you how to fix this. Get out of this whole stream thing. I don't like the infinity exception or whatever. Make sure you hold down Control Shift and change it to any size you like, but you're going to have this corner until you edit that. So you want to do is right click, Properties, go back into Select Region, and make sure you're outside the box when you're editing. Select Region. All you have to do is close this in, set it where you like it. Click Enter or outside the box, and OK. Now it's all gone. Blue corners, the white corner's gone, and now you have your settings. Hold down Control Shift. You can edge this out and corner it any way you like it. I have my main camera set up. I've got it all cornered here. I got my Elgato playlist, my information here on my camera. This is pretty well set up. Kind of got OCD, so I had to make sure all these corners are matching. You can spend some serious time setting this up, but go back to the sample. Edit on. You can move it wherever you like. If you did it wrong, you're on the wrong screen. Just remove it and add another. Window captures for inside selection. If you want to capture something else, just make sure that you're on the right screen here, on the right window. Sub-region, select region. The whole inside of the box turns white. All you have to do is hover this over the section you want to capture. And before the last update, you had to have this section open with nothing blocking it. If something blocked it, it was coming up on that screen, no matter what it was. Okay, now I've got this small OBS section here. Now if I put bad example. If I put my Pandora list over top of this screen, it still captures this section. Now before the update, if I put this over top, you would see this 007 right there. But it's captured the page and the section, which is a hell of a lot better. Because I had my Pandora up in this corner, my Twitch Notify down here, and then I had my OBS over in this corner, and I could not drag my mouse over without catching something. But it's a lot better setup now that after the update, because you can stack pages and have a lot more going on without running a whole lot of space. So I run 3 monitors, so I got a pretty nice setup. I usually keep my chat over here, my gameplay in the middle, and my Pandora and Twitch Notify over here. It's a pretty easy setup. I think I've gone over everything. So it's a free service. I've had a lot of problems with XSplit. I don't know if anyone else has, but it would run for maybe an hour and shut down. I'd have to restart it. It just drove me freaking crazy. OBS is always my backup and always will be. It's built for PC gaming, but you can stream console. Like I said, there's a few settings in here that can be a little iffy, but as long as you know how to manipulate the program, then it is really, really easy to set up. Like I said, on the settings, your video, 30 frames per second, downscale resolution, encoding, your max bit rate and buffer rate, make sure you keep those the same. That's pretty important there. That's a big difference. I would say the bit rate and mic sync are the 2 most important things that you would need to work on for your stream individually. I've seen a lot of streams that the mic was off like 4 seconds, the cam was laggy, there's a huge echo, and the follower list or the viewer list was just going down and down. It's so annoying when that stuff happens. I don't like watching it, and I know you guys don't like watching it. So, an on point stream is definitely important to the viewers. But encoding, max bit rate, your video settings. So you play with those a little bit. But once you get them set, you usually don't have to screw with them anymore. The bit rate and mic sync are the 2 most important things for individual servers or individual streams. And that about covers everything. Hope this was helpful. I'm going to set this up as a YouTube clip. Let me know, leave it in comments. I check very often. I'm going to start adding more videos for YouTube. I just gotten into Twitch back. I had a little vacation, so I'm getting back into Twitch. I'm gonna do more editing for my YouTube. It's been a while. Just leave anything in comments if you have any questions or comments or anything like that. Please subscribe, and I'll try and get some more tutorial videos set up. Or if you guys want to see anything else, just let me know and I'll get to it. Thanks for stopping by, and make sure you hit that follow button. See you guys.